I am sorry if you feel I am refusing your question. That's not my intention. My mind is in a higher dimension. At these levels, I have much higher retention, ascension into a level of rhyming defined as divine intervention. Let's begin here. Every day is different. Let's begin here. This is on U.Today. It says, XRP may make everyone cry. This trader says. Let's scroll down here and see what they're talking about. I agree 100%. You know, a lot of people phrase it that XRP is going to melt faces. I agree. The evidence is astounding. Anyone can look up the partnerships. Anyone can look up the banks. Anyone can look up the test runs. Anyone can look up the initial offerings, like with Santander, and read the praise that all of these banks have for XRP. That Bank of America has rained upon XRP. The SBI Remit has rained upon XRP. It is undeniable at this point. Anyone who denies the true reality, the nature of the rise of the phoenix, well, to be kind, I will say that those individuals would be quite foolish. Whew. Let's read this little tidbit here. The XRP cryptocurrency might, oh, I love reading this sentence. The XRP cryptocurrency might be in the process of loading a moonshot. Yes, 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 yes. According to the pseudonymous trader and investor Crypto Rand. Well, Mr. Rand, I say I do concur. We're winning. Oh, man, feels so good. It does. It says the token's potential rally would make, quote, everyone cry. According to the popular chartist, a price chart shared by Crypto Rand shows that XRP token appears to have formed a symmetrical triangle. Oh, when that switch is flipped, I can't wait. The rocket will take off. And guess what? When the rocket takes off, the XLM rocket will begin. It is only the beginning. Let's continue on here to another article. XRP Volcano to blow soon. Credit Suisse may cause another market crash. Here's why BTC may end Q4 in green zone. That we're not concerned with, but let's read this little tidbit about XRP Volcano to blow. They're all bearing witness to the rise of XRP, the work that Ripple has been putting in. The research is undeniable. Let's read this little tidbit here. XRP Volcano going to blow soon. Best-selling author, Bryant McGill believes. All these high-ranking individuals, esteemed individuals saying the same thing, which is insane in my opinion. You know, we had the head of SBI Remit say the same thing. Not only that, it was quite startling what the individual said. The individual not only said that they believe that they not believed. I'll save that for later. They said that there's a lot of institutional money on the side waiting to jump in. That's number one. That's the head of SBI Remit. Then not only that, the head of SBI Remit also said that they believe, this is where we're going to get into that, they believe that every bank in Japan would use XRP. Now, I don't know if that's actually going to happen. I would love it if it did. But the fact that that individual's words were not taken seriously, it says a lot, doesn't it? But now you have high esteemed individual after high esteemed individual corroborating what we've been saying all along. Bryant McGill, best-selling author and social entrepreneur, has taken to Twitter to reiterate his bullish stance on XRP. Back on September 4th, McGill wrote that he expects the XRP and Ripple volcano to start blowing up sometime soon. Don't get me wrong, that first flood, whew, that price will take off like a rocket. But always keep in mind, this is my humble opinion, it's not financial advice. Keep in mind that even when it skyrockets at first, that's nothing compared to what it can do. Keep in mind, listen, the cross-border remittances, that's great money. That's cute in comparison to the interbank payments. Don't you ever forget them. Those interbank payments are what's going to make that price skyrocket. The banks, out of necessity of using the XRPL, having to hold XRP, that will make the price skyrocket. So even with the initial explosion, in my humble opinion, that will be nothing in comparison. That's just a flood. That will be nothing in comparison to the tsunami that is and stands to come. Do your own research. You don't have to listen to me. I'm not trying to sway you this way or that way. It means nothing to me whether retail buys XRP or not. I'm not one of those guys. I'm not. The banks are salivating, drooling over themselves at the opportunity, and everyone sees it coming. It's a beautiful time to be alive. It definitely is. Let's continue on here. So yesterday, the author replied to his own tweet with, quote, "Like I said." Ooh, okay. He's snapping. Talk. That's what they said. Talk. TAWK. Talk. Showing that his forecast is slowly but surely coming true. Everything is starting to, I told you the volcano was bubbling. Didn't I title that a video like that? Like a month ago, month and a half ago? The volcano was already bubbling. It was already rumbling. Because of all the corridors getting set up. Because of all the infrastructures nearing completion. Of course, there's a lot of tests that still have to be done. And I do believe that the banks are going to have a lot more requests. As they're understanding the technology more, they're starting to demand more of it. I think that's logical. That was going to happen. But it doesn't change the timeline. It doesn't. 3 to 5 years. I'm going to take the Bank of International Settlements word over everyone else. We know JP Morgan said 2 to 3 years. That's a little quick in my opinion. That's very quick in my opinion. BIS says 3 to 5 years. Ripple itself, in a document they released in May, you can look that up on ripple.com. Just go through their documents. Look, listen, people spend a lot of free time watching television, listening to music, watching movies, playing video games. They could take a few moments to read documents. But Ripple itself, in one of its documents, said 4 years. 4 years. Before everything will be completely up and running. That's what they said. Of course, timelines can change. Nothing is written in stone. And just as they must adjust, we also must be willing to adjust. That's if you're in this big money game. This is for the big money. Let's continue on here. McGill has every right to stand behind his words as the price of XRP is striving to rise on the news of Ripple scoring wins. Multiple. Didn't I say that? Multiple wins against the SEC in court. Last week, district court, I have to say that so many people try to downplay XRP. I've seen so much XRP hatred lately. Oh my goodness, they've been hating on Quant. Oh, they hate Quant. They don't like that Quant has rose the way that it did and has continued to hold firm while everything else continues to rise and fall, rise and fall. Don't get me wrong. There's the tiniest bit of volatility in Quant. The tiniest bit. Quant stands to explode. 1,000K coin. Easy. Easy. That's nowhere near the price that I expect Quant to go to, by the way. But let me put that out there. $1,000 coin. Easily. But we'll get onto that another time. But yes, you have to clarify because there's so much XRP hatred, Quant hatred, and oh my goodness, don't bring up HBAR. Oh my, they really hate HBAR. Even with all the partnerships, even with the banks saying that they've been testing HBAR. Even with the CBDC infrastructure that MTech is pushing everywhere with central banks. And I'm pretty sure private and commercial banks as well. And MTech working and assisting on the digital dollar. Even so, there's so much Hedera HBAR hatred is unbelievable. That's why you have to know what you hold, because these people are trying to shake you and break you. They're trying to snap your ankles, shake you up, get you out of there. There's a reason for that. A lot of what's going on now is psychological warfare. It's no different. They're trying to bust you over the head with certain types of information until you agree with them, until you do what they want you to do. That's not what we do here. I want you to be free. Make your own decisions. Whatever you decide to do, I'm perfectly fine with that. Be free. They're trying to put a manacle around your mind. And that's why so many people are, even though they've seen the evidence of what the bank coins can do, they still are not going to. They're not going to hear you out. They're not going to get into them. They're not going to invest in them. And that's perfectly fine. Only the wise are taking advantage of this opportunity. And while there are no guarantees, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Simple as that. Simple as that. You know, in ancient times, they used to make sure everybody was worthy of certain opportunities. They would try to shake out the weak. They make you work for things and put you through tests. What do they call them? Like, you know how like some cultures have coming of age tests? Oh, you don't want to go there. I didn't have to do our families. Oh yeah, we had a coming of age test. Yeah. Oh, it wasn't easy at all. Some cultures have that. To prove yourself into adulthood, you have to pass certain requirements and things. You have to do certain things. You have to pass certain tests. It skipped me. It skipped me. Oh, and they're not easy either. You're not easy. Let me tell you that. That doesn't mean I don't think I would have passed. I would have passed with flying colors. There's no, listen, I was a hell of a warrior. A hell of a warrior. Okay. So I don't believe there's anybody or anything that would have stood in my way. So I would have taken my punishment. But no, I would have made it through and passed with flying colors. That's how I feel about, you know, what do they call it? Like rites of passage, such. I know most people don't do it. Most families and most cultures don't have rites of passage systems anymore. I get it. I know. I understand. Anyway, you guys distracted me. We're here to talk about crypto. Let's get back on topic. Oh man, everything's looking really good right now. So this is from Ripple.com, 2022 regional payments trends. By the way, I'm working on that members only video. I'm gonna have to reshoot it. I shot the video. It was I have a request. I take a lot of requests. It was on the universal basic income. It was on that topic in relation to like cello and such, and just in general. And I shot an hour-long video. Let me tell you something. If I had to chop that video up, because I was saying a lot of things in there. I can't release it on YouTube. Not at all. So I'm gonna have to reshoot it and then I'll put it out. Okay. Unfortunately on YouTube, you have to watch what you say these days. My goodness. Well, you've seen some things, haven't you? How they treat certain individuals when they say what YouTube doesn't want you to say. Let's continue here. 2022 regional payments trends. From open banking and instant payments to mobile banking and international treasury flows, this ebook provides insight into regional payment trends around the world that have helped businesses and financial institutions improve payment services in their region. And that's going to be a lot of money for us. If you look at the web that's coming together, you look at Ripple in Central America, South America. I believe Ripple now has corridors and entry points in Africa, Europe, Southeast Asia. They are creating a web around the world. Then if you think about interoperability, you see Ripple and Stellar sort of layered together almost everywhere. Europe, XRP and XLM. Algorand is there also. Africa, XRP XLM. Algorand is there also. Southeast Asia, also now. Algorand is there also now. So you have XRP, Algorand, and XLM all together, and they all serve different purposes. That money is going to flow seamlessly one into the other. And that's going to make, theoretically speaking, those prices explode. This is very good. Those corridors also are only going to grow, and they're going to grow exponentially. We've even covered articles here on the channel talking about those economies exploding and growing exponentially without the advent of the bank coins in the new financial system. So just imagine how much more they're going to be able to grow and explode and at an exponential rate with the new financial system. You understand what I'm saying? So let's continue on here, okay? We know that they're dominating when it comes to the banks. Quant is also, Hedera HBAR has been doing a great job. I hate saying that. I don't know why I'm having this sort of brain stutter. I keep saying Hedera HBAR, I mean HBAR. And we know that Algorand is dominating as well when it comes to banks, governments, payroll, all of these different things. All of these trillions of dollars accumulating into what will become, all right, potentially quadrillions of dollars. What does it do to that price? That price is going to raise. Raise a toe. It's going to raise. All right. Let's go here. So then we have this. This is a little tweet from Ripple. It says, honored to be listed in the @CB Insights hashtag FinTech 250 again this year. This is great advertisement. Do you understand clearly who reads these types of things? Big money individuals. That's who we want to bring in. We want their companies investigating Ripple, looking into who they are. How can they leverage this technology? We want them questioning, why are the banks using XRP? Why are the banks using the XRPL? Why are they utilizing Ripple? And as they look into it, coupled with their respect for the banking system, that potentially could bring in new partnerships and new business. There's a lot of fishing right now. They're fishing for partnerships and fishing for people that might be interested in using the XRPL. This is why, like I said yesterday, Brooks Entwistle is sitting down with so many individuals. He's not there to have fun. While he's having drinks and eating, it looks like a great time. It probably is. Delicious food, good drinks. But he's not there to have fun. He's making and establishing relationships that will grow into business relationships. Everything I told you the other day is absolutely true. And those type of relationships can go a long way and can produce some very unexpected results. Now, let's continue on here. There's so much going on with XRP. It's hard to get to the other news, Algorand news, XLM news, because there's just so much happening with XRP. And they're going to take off very, very soon. And like I said, they're the leader they are the leader right now. When they take off, they will pull everything else up with it. If they have a victory over the SEC, then that will establish, in my humble opinion, clarity for the rest of the bank coins, because all of their use cases are so similar. So, another reason why there's so much news coming out about XRP and Ripple, and why it's paramount, in my humble opinion, to cover them first at this particular time. Now, here's another tweet from Ripple. They've been really doing a great job putting out a lot of information. Proud to take hashtag climate action alongside @Tallow.io, a Web3 carbon offset marketplace, using the XRP ledger to increase the transparency and efficiency in voluntary carbon markets. Now, once again, I reiterate, they are pushing this for a reason, and it's not because they love you or the planet. It's not. But there's going to be a lot of value flowing through these particular distributed ledger technologies, and the governments have been raving about now. Now they're starting to. You still have some rogue elements that are against the bank coins. Just push them to the side for a moment. But you have a lot of governmental entities and individuals praising the blockchains and distributed ledger technologies because of trackability, traceability, and all these other things that they desire, security as well. They will be issuing fines. Right now, this is voluntary. So it says voluntary carbon markets. That's always the way that it begins. It's like a test run. You voluntarily track how much carbon you're putting out. Then next, it becomes a law that it's mandatory that you track it. It works. They see that it works. Then it becomes mandatory. So then what does that lead to? Fines. Fines. Okay, they'll be paying fines over the blockchain. They will be paying fines from these wallets, these government issue wallets, especially farms, the oil industry, things like that they are clearly against with their new green agendas. That's what's going to happen. There's going to be billions of dollars, and that will grow, flowing in fines, flowing through, theoretically, the blockchains, the DLTs, because of the immutability of their ledgers, right? And so what does it do to the price of XRP if they're going to be doing carbon taxing? Also, I firmly believe, because they've already been doing this in a lot of other regions, they will also do social credit scores. So it's not just going to be corporations that will be tracked and traced. Remember, I told you, a lot of this tracking and traceability is not really just for the individuals. They're going after the corporations. There is a sort of a war going on. I know the regular people always feel like the governments and these other entities are going after them specifically, probably to a degree, but they want the corporations, they want to go after the big money, the big businesses. They haven't always seen eye to eye. And I believe a lot of powers, I'll say that, a lot of powers feel like the corporations have gotten too big and too powerful. It's to the point where some of the corporations, because of how much money they're bringing in and how much lobbying they can do, They pretty much rule. They have more power than the powers. You get what I'm saying? They don't like that. They're trying to bring them down a notch. So a lot of it, that plays a large part in this as well. A lot of this is strategy. There's a lot of battles and wars going on that people just aren't perceiving. So that's why they're going deep, because they understand where this is headed. And as Ripple said, they want to move all the money. Really, that's a misphrasing. Rather, let's say all the value. So they're going to reach out and grab as much value from everything that they possibly can. And haven't they been doing that? Yes, they have. They're in trade finance, just like XDC, just like Zenfin. They're trying to do interbank payments. They're trying to do cross-border payments. They're trying to do payroll. They're in this voluntary carbon market system, right? They're into everything that they possibly could be. Of course, I do believe they're going to be involved in the tokenization of debt. I do also believe they're going to be involved in the tokenization of securities. Why would they not? Who are you going to trust more than XRPL or Stellar blockchain or Algorand or the bank coins as a whole? No, I believe 100% the bank coins are going to dominate. Who do you trust more than who the banks trust? No one. Not that, and I'm speaking mostly in the mind state of, big money, large business, private banks, commercial banks, central banks. They will establish that the bank coins, they will bring a level of prestige, rather, to the bank coins that no other asset has ever had, in my humble opinion, because of what they can do and the value that they can bring. Remember, they can access the unbanked money that the legacy system could never access. That is powerful. But let's continue on here. So then we get to this article here on U.Today. SEC slams Ripple-friendly firms for attempting to help defendants. The SEC has been going absolutely berserk. It's not a good look for them, but it's very good for us because they're exposing themselves. Allow them to continue to expose themselves. Allow them to continue to lose control and show the world exactly who and what they are. And they are definitely injuring the people of the United States. And I think they're seeing that. I think the judge is seeing that. A lot of entities are seeing that. The CFTC sees that. That's why they have these meetings. They didn't have to take these meetings with Ripple and with Stellar, but they did. Why? Because they see the fall, I believe this with all my spirit, the fall of the SEC. If this goes well for crypto, if this goes well for the bank coins against the SEC will never be the same again, ever. They know that. That's why they're just grasping at straws. But you have to be careful. An animal is always dangerous when its back is most dangerous when its back is against the wall. You got to be careful. An injured animal is the most dangerous. They have nothing to lose, and they attack at the drop of a hat. So it says, in a motion letter to federal judge Annalisa Torres, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission asked the court to deny the request of iRemit Inc. And TapJets Inc. to file amicus briefs in support of defendants' motion for summary judgment in the Ripple case. Of course, SEC. Of course, but you're for the people, correct? You're for innovation. The hypocrisy is mind-blowing. The SEC slammed the movements for attempting to offer evidence that is outside of the constraints of discovery restrictions. Is that so? As reported by U.Today, iRemit, a remittance company based in the Philippines, said that it was interested in the outcome of the lawsuit because of its heavy reliance on Ripple's on-demand liquidity, of course. And this also shows you that people are getting impatient. The companies are getting impatient. They want to thrive. They want to explode. They want a piece of that money. They know what's coming, and they don't want to wait anymore. So they're stepping in. Can you imagine if a bigger name steps in? Oh, listen, at this point, anything is possible. If we get a few bigger names to step in, it's over. But let's continue on here. The company claimed that it had, quote, deep knowledge of the technology. They do. Very deep knowledge. And it expressed its desire to aid the court's evaluation of the SEC's arguments. Actually, I think that would be great. I would think, and I think that they could add a lot to it because of their experience with XRP, not just knowledge of it, but not just knowledge from like reading documents and sitting in presentations, but they actually have been able to test it out so they can share their firsthand experience Taptis, a private jet charter company, also stepped up to highlight XRP's utility by asking the court to file an amicus brief. It argued that the usage of the XRP token, which makes it possible to make fast transfers, was central to its business model. The SEC doesn't see any valid reasons why the defendants could not have adduced the facts that have been put forward by the two firms. Most importantly, the plaintiff says that the movements cannot actually explain how Ripple being required to register its XRP distribution would prevent them from using the token. The SEC, my goodness, it's just such a carnival at this point. But let's move on to another article here, all right? So this shows you where everything is heading. This is from Cointelegraph.com. They've been doing a great job. Make sure you check out U.Today. Check out Cointelegraph. Support these people who are doing a great job. Basel Committee. Banks worldwide reportedly own 9.4 billion euros in crypto assets. So while they're telling everyone else to get out of crypto, while they're telling everyone else that crypto is so risky and bad. As a matter of fact, I think I have an article somewhere up here that says that. They're getting in deep into crypto. Well, we always knew they were doing that, didn't we? We always knew. It's logical. They point this way and direct the people's attention this way while they go that way. It's always that way, isn't it? And they are the same ones who will claim they want to help the people. Oh, we want to help you. Right. They want to help themselves. Be careful of these smilers. They come to you with a smile, just like a fox. They used to say this in the ancient peoples used to say how the foxes appear to be smiling, but they are the most vicious. They will rip you apart. But they come up to the animals. This is how they used to tell the stories. Of course, you have to use your own interpretation, right? But they say the foxes are able to approach the chicken because it looks like it's smiling, only to get close to the chicken and rip it apart. These entities are just like that. They come to you with a smile. They come to you with kind words. All the while, they want to rip you apart. They want to parasitically feed on you. Sorry, I got a little tongue-tied there. It happens. So here, let's read this little tidbit. According to a study published by the Basel Committee on Banking Supervision, a supranational organization responsible for setting the standards on bank capital liquidity and funding 19 out of 182 global banks, 19 out of 182 global banks supervised by the committee, reported that they owned digital assets. Of course. Which ones? Which ones? Combined, their total exposure to crypto is estimated to be 9.4 billion euros or $9.38 billion. In context, this represents 0.14% of the total risk-weighted asset composition of the 19 crypto-owning banks surveyed. When taken into account, overall cryptocurrencies only comprise about 0.01% of total risk-weighted assets of all 182 banks under the Basel Committee supervision. 2 banks made up more than half of the overall crypto asset exposures, while 4 more comprised approximately 40% of the remaining exposures. Out of the 19 banks that submitted crypto data, 10, these are the ones that submitted the data, 10 were from the Americas. It's coming, everyone. I can feel it. You see it. We have been following factual information from transcripts to PDFs. So yes, okay, so here they actually have some of these here. So this is what the banks claim. This is what they reported. It says reported digital exposures primarily consisted of Bitcoin, Ether, Bitcoin or Ether related derivatives. Other notable mentions were Polkadot's XRP. We knew it. We got you. We knew it. This is just what you reported. Oh, you naughty, naughty, naughty banks. Oh, we got you. We caught your hand in the cookie jar. Oh, you got XRP. This is what they reported. This is just what they reported. Oh, you're holding XRP. Cardano's ADA. Of course, I know they. Mr. Hoskinson, you have to calm down, sir. That type of uncouth behavior that you've been showing lately, and I get it, but We need you to make some partnerships and deals, sir. Now, right now, I'm not a holder of ADA, but that doesn't mean I won't jump back into Cardano at the drop of a hat, because I know what you got going on. I know what you got going on. All right. So they're holding some Cardano ADA, Solana Sol, Litecoin, and XLM. They got XRP and XLM. I told you the banks know. Banks know. How many is this? Bitcoin, Ethereum, DOT, XRP, ADA, Sol, Litecoin, and XLM. 8. Only 8 out of the thousands. This tells you a lot. They're holding XRP and XLM. I hope I remember this little timestamp here. I don't even have my notebook near me because I need to make a note of this to make a chapter so people can jump right here and get this information. The banks are holding XRP and XLM. I know I'm getting a little repetitious, but I'm excited. We're so close. Oh, man. That is great news. I literally got some chills just now. I don't get chills at all. Yeah, I have so many articles left. My goodness. Let's see if we can get through these here. So here's another article on U.Today. Once again, our Kiyosaki, Mr. Kiyosaki, is trying to warn the people again. He tried to warn them the other day about the crash of the dollar, which I've been telling people was going to occur for so long. And they could prevent it. They can prevent it, but they have to act now. I said that before. So we differ on that a little bit. I think Robert Kiyosaki believes that it's inevitable and there's no preventing it. But to each his own. I could be completely wrong. I could be wrong and Mr. Kiyosaki could be right. Who knows? And he could be wrong and I could be right. Who knows? We'll wait. We'll see. We will adjust accordingly. I think most of the wise people adjust as time goes on. So it says, the author of the best-selling investment book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, we know that, has predicted that the Federal Reserve will soon be forced to pivot in its policy. He stated in the tweet that when this happens, likely sometime in January 2023, the US dollar will probably crash while crypto soars. Same thing he was saying the other day. In a follow-up tweet, here we go. Okay, in a follow-up tweet, he explained that as long as the Fed keeps hiking interest rates, the dollar will get stronger, causing gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices to go lower. Not quant. When the Fed reverses to dropping interest rates, as the UK government recently did, the store of value assets will regain their momentum. Kiyosaki remark has elicited responses from other crypto market watchers and critics. Peter Schiff, a gold bug and vocal Bitcoin skeptic, ignoring the benchmark crypto, noted that it is possible gold and silver have already bottomed. Is that so, sir? Wow. Hence, he advised investors to buy the precious metals now while they are still cheap. Wow. That is very interesting. I mean, we'll see. When do analysts expect crypto to start its rally? Kiyosaki is not the only financial analyst to predict that the Fed will change its policy direction soon. Okay, so that all depends. In order for them to get the inflation rate down to where they want it, they're going to have to not only continue to consistently raise interest rates, they're going to have to become more aggressive. This is logical. They have to crush the economies in order to get that inflation down. If not, listen, there's more inflation coming for a myriad of reasons. It stands to go higher, right? And it's much higher than what they're reporting, by the way. The people are feeling it, so the people know. But that would necessarily mean they have to crush the economies by raising interest rates aggressively. They're going to have to go higher, in my humble opinion. So I don't understand how they're going to. We'll see what happens, but I don't think there's any stepping back from the line at this point. Let's continue on here. It's from Reuters. Dallas Fed says inflation surge badly eroding many Americans' wage gains. Haven't I been discussing this for the last 3 to 4 months? Telling people this, but the Fed didn't care. The people didn't care. They kept saying, no, everything's okay. No, it's not. No, it's not. That's why the monetary policy must change. The monetary policy, and it's not just a policy, because I say a policy, then it sounds like a standalone thing, and it's not. The minds behind the policy must change. They have to be more responsible, just like Kristalina Georgieva said. But they haven't. The monetary policy has not changed. So therefore, how are they going to bring, even if they bring inflation down, how would they not repeat the same mistake again if their minds have not changed, if the way of thinking behind the monetary policy has not changed? If they see no reason to change, if a fool sees no reason to change, and yet they have fallen in the hole once, twice, then why would we not logically, as observers, right, think that the fool is going to fall into the hole a third time? Nothing has changed. So the fall into the hole another time would be inevitable. I think that's logical. So yes, Americans' wages are losing ground to inflation at a steep rate, of course. But the American people must demand better from their so-called leaders. They have not done that en masse. There's a portion of them that are, but they must push harder. If they do not, hey, you make your bed, you have to lay in it. And if you let somebody else make your bed, you have to lay in it. I suggest we take control of that and make our bed the best way possible. Then resting, so to speak, will be much better. You understand what I'm saying with that? What I'm trying to convey with that? Let's go here. So then we have this, this little tweet here. This is from Danelle Dixon. So we're starting to move into the XLM Stellar News a little bit. It's just a fun little tweet. So Danelle Dixon put out, "My family's new favorite dessert. Here's proof." And it's so easy, by the way. It's like, it says here, rich, lightly sweetened cream biscuits topped with a luscious filling of fresh blueberries. Okay, so this is one of Martha Stewart's, what? Danelle Dixon made some Martha Stewart's treats and didn't offer alpha-neme any? Where they do that at? Listen, first of all, I know people out there going to be like, alpha-neme wants to compete on everything. That's part of the fun of life, right? Competition, you know, competing just a little bit. It's just fun. You guys don't box with your family members. You don't do some wrestling. You don't. That's not part of you. That's not part of you. Play some chess. Yeah, we compete at everything. Anyway, yeah. So I was going to say, listen, you don't want to cook against me. You don't want to cook against me. Where you want to cook at? Where you want to have a cooking contest? You want it on top of the stove or you want it in the oven? Where you want to do it? Now, see, I have to sharpen up on my skills when it comes to the oven. But on top of that stove, listen, it's not going to be pretty. It's going to get ugly. But guess what? Oh, it's going to be delicious. I'm going to tell you that right now. Any food I cook on top of that stove, but I let the head jiggle. That's how you know I cook good. I let the head jiggle. Look at that. Whatever I cook on top of that stove, delicious. Better buy some medals. You better buy some trophies. You're going to owe me one. You don't. Barbecue. Somebody out there literally, I heard it. I heard you. You said, but Alphanine, you could talk about the stove and you could talk about the oven, but you can't barbecue with us. What? Are you, what? Barbecue? Do you know my people? What? You done snapped, fell down, bumped your head? You can't barbecue with me? Let me tell you something. My father taught me how to barbecue. Oh, what you want? You want the healthy barbecue? It might be a close battle there. If we do a healthy barbecue, or you want the unhealthy barbecue, it's a slaughter. 3-0. People be chanting in the background, Alpha-neme, Alpha, while they're eating ribs. Alpha-neme, Alpha-neme. Oh, you eat veggie? Oh, let's get back to the to the articles. Danelle Dixon, what are you doing? You're supposed to be leading Stella. You have us talking about food here. So here we have another tweet from Danelle Dixon. It says, "Are you #Bay Area, #CryptoPro? Come and meet at Danelle Dixon from @Stellar.org this Thursday at the SF City Hall. The inaugural FinTech Gala is bringing VCs, founders, government, and FinTech professionals for a one-of-a-kind industry network evening. A one-of-a-kind. Government officials will be there. Come on now. There are no coincidences. Stellar. Have you seen everywhere that Danelle Dixon has been lately? You have Meridian. Danelle Dixon was in front of government officials multiple times. Now is at a gala. According to them, a one-of-a-kind gala with government officials. Everybody else, I don't care about that. VCs, vendors, FinTech professionals. No, the government officials are who Denell Dixon will be shaking hands with, speaking to. Same thing. Do you notice a correlation? You see all this happening at one time? Brooks and Swissel going to special galas, special dinners. Denell Dixon doing the same thing. Something big is on the horizon. I'm telling you now. Listen, I've been around a while. I've done some things. And I'm telling you, when you start going to these events, that's when the big deals happen. If you make the right connections, that's when the big deals happen. They are trying to land big deals, big partnerships. This is not for fun. You don't have to believe me. We'll see in the future. But I know what I've seen firsthand being in certain industries. And when you make certain connections, I'm telling you, when you make certain connections, they throw deals and partnerships at you. Let's continue on here. Hey, we're actually getting through a few articles, man. We're doing pretty good today. We're doing pretty good. Thanks for hanging in there. Hey, strength. We're making it through, and there's a lot of good information. At Algo Foundation, grant recipient launches graphic novel, motion, comic, and NFT collection. Trust. Good job. This is an individual who's maximizing their opportunities, taking advantage of it. This is what I think a lot of people could do. And they don't need a grant from Algorand to do it. No. I put some information out in the members only section. Take a gander at that, okay? You'll see a connection. But you could put out your stuff. You can put out your books. How many of you written comic books probably just have them sitting there? Put out your stuff as NFTs. Know the laws, of course. No NFTs. Like I said, had members only section. Scroll down, read what I posted there. You can put out your stuff, your collectibles as NFTs, right? So you have a lot of people they have baseball cards, they have things. You can sell your stuff at NFTs. You can get prepared for the next NFT run. You don't have to move this stuff now. And this is not advice. You don't have to listen to me. I'm just putting some information out there, right? But this person is taking advantage of that. This is great. I'm glad to see this. I'm glad people are actually taking opportunities, still building and preparing for the next bull run. These things will move like lightning, in my humble opinion. You can also build on the blockchains. That's another way to make money. So you can learn. Like I said, scroll down in that members only section. Take a look at some of that stuff. You can learn how to build on the blockchain. Put in a few hours every weekend. You can join classes. There's stuff out there that you can access. It doesn't cost a lot, or it costs nothing. And you can learn. You can take advantage of the rise of the new financial system and the new DLT systems. You can take advantage of this in multiple ways. It's just about giving yourself the opportunity. You can do whatever you want. What you do with it is up to you. I just put this stuff on the table. I'm just a humble researcher. That's all. All right, so this is very, very good in my humble opinion. So on Algorand, once again, Algorand, the people's coin, once again. And good job, Algorand, giving people these opportunities. So now we're gonna move forward here. I don't know why my computer is taking time. It's like reloading some of these articles, and it has become quite problematic at times. So here's more on Algorand. Algorand aims to reshape a variety of industries from TradeFi and DeFi to new creator economies and beyond. With an extraordinary commitment to interoperability and consistent delivery, its sustainable technology powers more participation, transparency, and efficiency for all. That means money, money, money. They said DeFi. They also said trade finance. You see how all the bank coins are going into the same areas? That money is going to flow so smooth. It's going to grow exponentially, and not just one bank coin is going to dominate. It's the beauty about the bank coins. They are one system. Most people don't comprehend that. They are going to explode. Those trillions from trade finance will flow into XDC and then into Algorand and possibly then into XRP. They're all into TradeFi. Remember, Ripple has been in trade finance for years now, building. Shh, very quietly. All the evidence is there. You can do your own research. You can look up anything that I'm saying and see for yourself. Seeing for yourself is better. It's better than even me telling you. Now, let's move on here. More with Algorand. They are just going insane. You don't get better advertising than this. So you know that Envision Racing has Algorand across the chest. of their racing suit. They have Algorand on their car. And they have almost religious-like followers. So you have this here. Now, Envision Racing is bringing in Sebastian Buemi, and they have his accolades right here. 98 E-Prix appearances, 13 wins, 29 podiums, and won at FIA Formula E Drivers Championship. The advertising has been insane when it comes to Algorand. And when we get back to a bull market or a better economy or regulatory clarity, Algorand's price, in my humble opinion, is going to go boom. Muy linda, mi gente. Feels good to be winning so much. And we're going to close out with this last little bit here. But this is, I think, some of the most potent when it comes to the future of the DLTs, the bank coins, and the future of the money expanding exponentially, in my humble opinion. It's in the hands of the youth, mainly. They're the ones who will come out of college, who will have new ideas, new innovations, who will build new companies that will help the growth over the next 10 to 15 years of Algorand, Ripple, and Stellar, in my humble opinion. Hedera as well. But I know these three are in the universities the most. We're delighted to share that 10 Algorand Centers of Excellence, ACE, program universities have been recognized in CoinDesk Best Universities for Blockchain 2022. Look at this list. Yale is there. Surtech, EPFL, Texas A&M, UCLA, USP, Scilab, Purdue. Look at who they're involved with. Algorand Centers of Excellence. Brilliant minds will come out of this. That equals money flowing through Algorand. They will utilize Algo. They will build on Algorand, which lends to the further utilization of Algo, further staking, further desire for governance. This is genius. Anyone who thinks that Algorand's price is not going to explode, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Yale is there. My goodness. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, let's get to the money.